Jack Wallace suffered a life-threatening injury when he was just a little kid, but training out here on the water and on the ice rink is what ultimately saved his life. The sun is rising, and Jack Wallace is already out kayaking on Percy Priest Lake. What started as a summer sport for cross-training turned into something much bigger.
My competitive side got the best of me, and I ended up wanting to really try for the national team and eventually try for the Paralympics, so here we are.
Wallace qualified for the U.S. National Sprint Kayak team a few months ago, and now he's training for the World Championships in August. His most recent accomplishments seem like a dream come true, but it really started out as a nightmare.
In my opinion, I should have died that day.
In July of 2008, the propeller of his family's boat hit Wallace while water skiing at 10 years old. All he saw was a pool of blood.
A lot of pain right off the bat, then you start going into shock, and then you're kind of just going into this, oh, maybe I'm dying.
His father put a tourniquet on him to immediately stop the bleeding. Then they were able to get professional help, and he was life-flighted to a trauma center where he spent 3 days in a coma.
In my own opinion, I'm kind of running on just bonus time. You know, so many things had to line up absolutely perfectly that day and the days following.
Wallace had his right leg amputated, and he underwent about a dozen different surgeries because he also shattered his hip and femur and nearly lost his left foot. He was in the ICU for 2 weeks and then spent 2 months in the hospital rehabilitating. And against all odds, he made it to the first day of school that September.
Really after that was really when it kind of started to set in, like, oh, you're not going to be playing hockey anymore. You're not going to be going out for football anymore. You're not going to be doing all these things you used to do. And that, you know, those first few months, that first year was brutal.
But that following summer in 2009, he was introduced to sled hockey.
Gave me a reason to get out of bed again. It really gave me something to drive for, something that motivated me.
And the rest is history.
We don't need to go down there, Joe.
Wallace lives and trains in Nashville. He's a 2-time Paralympic gold medalist and a 2-time world champion.
You know, it's hard to describe in words what winning that first gold was like, but really it almost felt like closure. All those emotions that me and my family had felt years, you know, from the accident and then the years following.
He says it was that moment when everything came full circle. And now he believes it all may have been a blessing in disguise, because since he was a little kid, Wallace had dreams of playing in the NHL.
Because of that accident and because of where I'm at now, I have the ability to do it. Who knows if I ever would have made the NHL, the odds of that are so insignificant. So the fact that I get to travel the country and travel the world and play the sport I love is an amazing opportunity. I was close.
Wallace believes he was given a second chance at life, and he says he will never take it for granted. He will continue to strive for his goals, both on the water and on the ice. Very few Paralympians and Olympians compete in both the Winter and Summer Games, and Wallace says he'd love to medal in both in the future. Reporting from Percy Priest Lake, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.